All right, what's going on, everyone? Welcome into our halftime live stream. Farzin Vasugan here with you. Oh, boy. Do I need to say anything? I don't know if I need to say much. So here's what I will say. I don't think Denver's defensive front is having as great of a game as I thought some people were expecting. I think Kansas City's offensive line is doing just fine in this game. Mahomes was sacked just twice. One of them was right before halftime. Terrible decision. I mean, with 1 second, might as well just let it go. And Tony Romo was calling for that. But I think in general, Kansas City has done just fine offensively. It's just they're not finishing drives the way they should. I think the play calling, and I'm seeing a lot of you guys, that's why I was laughing at the start of the live stream. The play calling has been pretty bad. Stop me if you've heard this before. Andy Reid looked like he was committing to the run, and then he backed away from it. Like in your own territory, what are you doing on 3rd and 1? You have Kareem Hunt, and I did not know this until I heard Nance and Romo say this in the Buffalo game a couple of weeks ago, Kansas City's last game. Apparently, the Hunt bunt, which is what they call it, that has a better success rate than the tush push. So do whatever your own version of a tush push is in that situation. And not only that, the Chiefs, and I saw Charles Goldman post about this, not willing to operate a quarterback sneak. Listen, if you don't want Mahomes to run it, fine. Now, you can't just bring your backup quarterback in because then you make it way too obvious. Teams can prepare for that. But you have to have something in your playbook on 3rd and 1, and a majority of them should be running plays. Sure, I mean, can you fool a defense by going play action and throwing a quick pass to a tight end or a chip block, something to a tight end? Sure, let's see it. But we haven't in this game. And I think that's why it's been so frustrating, because you look at what Kansas City's doing. I don't think Kansas City's been horrendous on offense like some people are making it sound to be. I think, Mahomes not connecting on a couple of those deep passes there that hurt him early on. And listen, in fairness, the Broncos should be up 14-0, at least in the first 2 drives of the game for both teams. Should have been 14-0 at that point right there, because Kansas City came up with 2 big defensive plays in the red zone. One was a Leo Chenal tip on Denver's second drive, and on the opening drive of the game, Chris Jones got a big sack on 3rd down. I know Chris Jones has had a very quiet year, but he really came through on that one right there. So defense, and by the way, ever since Leo Chenal's tipped pass that forced Denver to go kick a field goal, what has Denver's offense done? I don't think Denver's offense has done much in this game. I think they've only picked up 1 first down. Let me just look up it was a very short drive because it was a big punt return. Denver's only picked up 1 first down since their last field goal. 3 drives, 1 first down. You're eventually going to get the Boo Birds in Denver unless they make some adjustments there. So, look, I've said all year long, I thought Bo Nix and that Denver offense, I thought they were going to pick it up. They really haven't. I mean, we're in mid-November right now, and I think there are very serious concerns about this Denver team. Now, I will say this. Kansas City, they have lost these kinds of games this year. Remember last year when Kansas City was undefeated in 1-score games? Well, they've been winless in 1-score games this year. All 4 of their losses were 1-score games. Is this going to happen again, or have they learned their lesson through the first 4 games on how to pull through in close game situations? That's the one. That's the one big question for me right now. And again, who gets the ball to start the second half? Kansas City, as usual. Kansas City always defers. So I want to see the Chiefs go out there and come out strong here. Commit to the run a little bit. I know Kareem Hunt got stuffed on that 2nd and short play that brought up 3rd and 3. I still think you've got to commit to the run in those situations. And I think the problem is Andy Reid shies away from it. Kareem Hunt at one point was averaging almost 7 yards per carry in this half. He's averaging exactly 4.9 yards per carry. Like, give him the ball. They're not giving Elijah Smith any runs. They're not giving Brashard Smith any runs. So at least utilize Kareem Hunt here. Listen, there have been a couple of drops in this one. Yeah, we got a little bit of flashbacks to a couple of years ago. Rice had a couple of drops in this game on back-to-back plays. Rice had one that could have really put Harrison Butker in a field goal situation to attempt a field goal. And then on the next play, Kelsey should have had that one there too. So it's been a little frustrating. And I know that's something Denver's dealt with this year is the inconsistencies and the drops. So that's been frustrating to watch. But boy, yeah, Brad says do not go 3 and out. Kansas City's kind of struggled in some of the opening drives to start the second half. Neil says go to Taekwon on the second, what was it, or the third play of the game for the Chiefs. They threw it to Taekwon Thornton. I was shocked. I was really shocked. Felt like we were making progress on the Taekwon part, but I think that's the only target he's had since then. Yeah, that's it. Only one target for him. Yeah, a lot of penalties in this one here. Kansas City's kind of hurt themselves in a lot of these situations. What is it? 7 penalties for 49 yards. Now, here's the crazy thing. Denver has more penalty yards, and you know, DPI will do that to you, but listen, take advantage of that. So, yeah, Kansas City's got 7 penalties in this one. Denver's got more penalty yards because of that one big DPI where the defender Riley Moss was grabbing onto to Xavier Worthy. I will say this, and I said this at the beginning of the live stream. Denver's defensive front, I thought, got better a little bit right before halftime. And I think, you know, on plays where you're needing the routes to develop, given an opportunity for the wide receivers to do what they need to do before you can get the ball to them. I thought, you know, yeah, Denver's front 7 played a little better, but let me say this. I don't think the Denver defense has been that scary or dominant in this game, or at least in the first half, they were not. So Kansas City needs to utilize that. And I know the Chiefs, something I've been calling for a very long time for Andy Reid to do. We're seeing a lot of chip blocks. We're seeing a lot of tight ends and running backs help out in that. We've seen Kareem Hunt, Brashard Smith, Noah Gray. They've been helping out in that area to help give Mahomes the time he needs. Riley Moss has not been very good this season, and the Chiefs picked on him very early. I'm surprised they're not continuing to go on him, and I don't know, they don't replay every single play, and they don't show every preferred angle to see what's going on there, but I don't think Riley Moss, they haven't picked on him much since the first 2 drives of the game. So I'd like to see Patrick Mahomes go and throw in his direction again, because Taekwon Thornton burned him earlier on, Xavier Worthy as well. So go in that direction and pick on him. See what you can get out of that. Now, in order to do that, you got to let plays develop, and that also means the offensive line and the pass blockers have to do their jobs up front. And for the most part, they've done that. Patrick Mahomes has only been sacked twice. One of them was right before the Hail Mary attempt, where, you know, not enough time to get. Yeah, I agree with you on Instagram. How do you say your name? Okay, no, sure, stop. Offensive line has been fantastic. I agree. I think the Chiefs' offensive line has been very good today. And I know there were some concerns. How is Josh Simmons going to look in his first game back? I think Josh Simmons has been just fine. For a rookie who missed 4 months, being away for personal matter, has not necessarily been in football shape during those 4 weeks, I think he's been just fine. But Denver only has 1 first down since their last score. And they got that score because of that big punt return from Marvin Mims. So if you're the Chiefs, you got to take advantage here, because Denver's offense is not doing much. Here's what tends to happen, though. The Chiefs tend to play similar to the opposing offense, where neither team is scoring. And then it comes down to which offense is going to capitalize, which defense is less worn out and less exhausted. I mean, listen, defenses can only get so many stops for you when all your defense is doing is getting stops and forcing punts, and the offense is not returning the favor. It's going to become a very dangerous situation. I hope the Chiefs can get a touchdown here. I'll take a field goal. I would not be upset with a field goal at all. But boy, got to get a score of some sort here and commit to the run a little bit. Yeah, I see your comment, Alana. Commit to the run, please. Terrence says, I wonder how Breece Hall is doing right now. I wonder that too. I really wonder that too. We were talking about that in the pregame live chat. Yeah, you know, to be honest, Brad, I didn't have an issue with the holding call on Juju. I know Tony Romo disagreed with it. I didn't really have much of an issue with that. I really didn't. What's the use of having weapons if we don't know how to use them? SMH, I really hate Nagy and his vanilla ass offense. Yeah. Nagy's catching some strays right now during this halftime live stream. Look, I don't. Here's my problem with some of the criticism here. Whenever the offense is working, everyone is praising Andy Reid. But whenever the offense is not working, people criticize Matt Nagy. I don't know. Stop those damn outside screens and the holds will stop. Just run the ball. I think my problem with Andy Reid is whenever Kareem Hunt loses a yard, which is really not his fault. It's really like that one play on second and 2, whatever it was, that brought up 3rd and 3. And they had like the most terrible play call to throw it out of bounds. Andy Reid will shy away from the run because of a 1-yard loss. Like, has Andy Reid ever ran the ball in consecutive plays this season? I mean, it's hard to even. I'm not even thinking about last year. Last year was different, man. There were so many players injured. That's why they ran the ball so much with Kareem Hunt. But, man, use your running back. I know Kareem Hunt's not a Derrick Henry or a Saquon Barkley or Christian McCaffrey, but, man, he gets you those short yardage in those short yardage situations. And not just that, it feels like this guy's always gaining 5, 6, 7 yards whenever you give him the ball. So, again, he's averaging almost 5 yards a carry. Use him. Use him. Because I guarantee you, Denver is probably expecting a lot of throws to start the second half. What a better time to throw them off than giving it to Kareem Hunt, going run heavy to start the second half. I don't know what's going to happen to start the second half. I'm very anxious, but I'm going to let you guys go. I am Farzin Vasugian. Thanks for joining me for this halftime live stream. Remember, come back after the game. We will do the Chiefs Zone podcast live. We'll recap the game. Hopefully, we're talking about good things. You guys can also call in. I'll have the link for you guys to call in. You just simply click on the link, turn on your audio, your video, put in your name. We'll chat it up. You guys can call in after the game. All right. My name is Farzin Vasugian. I'm out. Enjoy the rest of the game.